What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and at the end of the video, we'll be taking a look at the Dow Jones pre-market and see what's going on there. There is a lot of mixed bullish and bearish case scenarios in Bitcoin right now. I'm going to show you both, and I'm going to give you my opinion. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community, and let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Don't forget, we're doing a Bybit branded Ledger Nano X giveaway on Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, leave your comment down below because I'll be picking a random comment from a random video throughout the week to pick the winner. Let's look at the news headlines to get a feel for the sentiment. We are almost to 16,000 subscribers. Thanks all you guys that have been sharing, liking, commenting on the video. The more likes and the more comments it gets, the more YouTube pushes it out, the more people get to see the video. So make sure you do that. Smash that like button. YouTube's not getting all the, they're not pushing the videos for anybody anymore. So make sure you smash the like that helps, or smash the like that helps with the algorithm. And I really do appreciate it. Also share the video. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get above that 16,000 today. All right, so market wrap. Bitcoin flat at 9.4K, but investors are holding on. So that's bullish sentiment. Bitcoin investors bullish even as Bitcoin price is below 10K. Another bullish headline. Failed as money, and that is great news for crypto. I don't know what that's about. Check it out if you haven't. Donald Trump told Treasury Secretary to go after Bitcoin. That happened last year, but they're making it look like it was just recent or something. Exclusive borrowing dollars against Bitcoin and crypto is growing. Bitcoin price target set at 5 times prior high. A lot more bullish than bearish news. That is bearish to me. Fear and greed index. We raised 2 points from yesterday. We are still in the fear. We are at 40. Let's look at the monthly. We've been watching this as higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence. Although it is the monthly, it could take serious time to play out. Same thing on the weekly. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence. Looks like we could come back down and retest this channel again. We'll see what happens there. But another thing I want to point out, the whole time we're rising in this, our volume is declining to almost nothing. It's getting really low on the weekly here, guys. That's a sign to me something big is gonna happen probably within a week. We'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you updated, so make sure you're subscribed. But let's look at what's going on here. Let's take a look at the bullish case. So I'd been looking at this here as a falling broadening wedge, and where we do a measured move from where we broke out right here, even though we did dip back in and out a few times, but that would be a $16,000 price target. Now that is the bullish case scenario, guys. Again, I am bearish here, but anything can happen in Bitcoin, as we all know. As of right now, 10,060 would be the top of this descending resistance line, all the way from our all-time high back in 17. We did wick above it here, which you see what happened there. It came right back down in. If we were to close even a daily above this trend line, I would start to get bullish at that point, although I do not see that happening. Let's look at the EMAs here. The 8 EMA, we're getting supported on that as of right now. It's around the 9,050. If we break that, that also matches up at the top of this rising broadening or falling broadening wedge. And the 13 EMA is around the 8750. If we fell down to the 21 EMA on the weekly, that'd be around the 8500 range. And the 21 EMA is right around the $8,200 range as of now. A 200 EMA all the way down to the 57. As you guys know, I do have a target that I've had for quite some time at 5,400. But let's look at the more immediate. So I've been talking about how quickly we rose here, and it was due for a correction at least, and we see what happened. Same thing here, guys. We rose up just crazy high, and I've been calling for a break of this channel. My target, the measured move of the break of this channel, is 69 from where we broke here. And how you get that is you have the channel in there, and then right from the spot it broke out, you go from the support to resistance, and you put it down to where he broke out, get you that $6,900 target. Again, you can see it in the daily. Volume is just declining. So I do expect a breakout volume at some point here. In my opinion, it's going to be down. We could still come all the way back up to as high as 10,200, even 10,300 as a bull trap, and that would be retesting the bottom of this channel. So keep that in mind, that it is a possibility. If it starts pumping up and, you know, everybody gets all excited, there will probably be some major FOMO in. And then what I would expect here is just a crash down. Just like up here, bull trap, bull trap, bull trap, bull trap, bull trap. And people are talking about, you know, this is bullish here. Well, since October, our 10,550 range, we've just made lower lows each time here. Now a break of that could change things, and that is around the 10,000. Where did I have it over here? Actually 10,560 range would break that high over here. But again, that still wouldn't, could in the macro, even if we break that, we're still making lower lows if we look over here. So, but anyways, I am looking at that possible retest of this trend line. Like I said, between 10,100, 10,300 area. And if we do make that, it will be a crash down. Let's look at the EMAs on the daily. Well, before I do that, if you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. It's by far my favorite exchange now. I do have some other links below of exchanges that I use, but I am more and more starting to just use Prime XBT because you can trade Forex, Dow Jones, S&P, gold, silver, everything right on one exchange with your Bitcoin. And they don't trade against you. If you use my promo code Savy50, you get 50% on top of your deposit up to 1 Bitcoin. And Savy25 will get you 25% off your trading for fees. And it does help the channel by you guys using my link. So, all right, let's look at what is going on here. I put the Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high. If this is the high, as long as we don't break it, these white numbers here are the retracement levels, and we did hit the 88.90 and got a perfect bounce off of it. That was the 0.236. If we come back down and break this, our next line of supports are on the 8,500, and after that we have, and that 8,500 also lines up with the 200 EMA on the daily. And after that we have the 0.382, which is at 79.50. Then we have the 7,700, which has been a long time support and resistance. And the 0.5 fib is at 71.32, and then our target at 69. And a break of that 69, the golden pocket zone is right between the 61.50 and 63.60. And then we have my target that I've been looking at for a long time, 5,400. Still believe that's a possibility. And like I said, the 3,500 range, we do have a CME gap there that you can see all the way up into the 8-hour. That is a possibility. I'm not saying it has to go down there, guys, but look at last time we had a rise, how far we dropped. So keep in mind that is a possibility. And if this happens, people will be selling off like crazy, and that will be an opportunity to get some very cheap Bitcoin. We'll see what happens. Make sure you're subscribed. Like I said, we do daily updates. We keep up on this stuff. All right, so again, rising channel. This is the 4-hour chart now. And like I had said, depending on where this goes, we could come up and retest this. There's a good possibility that, oh yeah, let me go back to the daily and just look at the EMAs real quick, and then we'll go into the RSI. As you can see, we are getting resistance at the 8, 13, and 21 all packed together here at the 94.90. If we get a break and a close above this, that would be bullish and most likely headed up to here. The 55 EMA as of right now sits at 9,200 on the, it's actually around 91, 9100 on the daily, the 55 EMA. So watch for that. If we break the 9100, or if we break the 55 EMA on the daily, it's going to be pretty damn bearish. Let's look at the RSI. This is what I was talking about. There's bullish and bearish things showing here. Falling channel in this daily. If we can come back up and break this, we may come back to retest the top of this falling wedge, which also lines up with the rising channel. So it made a fall or rising broadening wedge in the RSI. We did come up and retest that already. So if we break this, possibility we come up, retest it before coming back down. But the way it looks to me on the daily, guys, looks like we're going to come back down here for another touch. Now, if we did come back down here, let's say came back, tested the bottom of this channel again, and we made a higher low, and in the price action we came way back down to this level, which again, I'm not saying it has to happen, but that would make bullish divergence, and it should get a huge run up from there. Just something to look at. All right, let's look at the, oh yeah, one more thing in the RSI. We were looking at this as a possible head and shoulders right here. A break of this trend line is going to be pretty damn bearish, and it's looking like it's headed that way to me. But let's go into the 4 hour. Same thing. I have the Fibonacci retracements in here, and also the only thing different on the 4 hour here is I made this rising channel coming out of this rising channel here. And if we take a measured move, if we were to come down, and what I did for this bottom line, guys, all I did was clone this top line and bring it down to this wick. There's no guarantee that this is what's happening, but it does make sense for it to come down to that $8,600 to $8,700 area. And if that breaks, the measured move is around the 6,600 range, 6,700 range. So it all somewhere in between the 0.618 and the $6,900 target, depending on where this breaks. But if that happens, we do break this low, we're most likely headed to these lows, guys. And then, you know, we know what's after that. Let's look at the RSI in the 4 hour. We have this falling wedge drawn in here off of these peaks. And as you can see, I have a dotted line here where we were bouncing inside of. We had our breakout, and now same thing, we're bouncing inside this again. Question is, do we come all the way back down and test the bottom of this trend line, which I believe is going to happen. Again, guys, I could be wrong. If we do break up out of this in the 4 hour to come retest the top of this trend line, that could be our bull trap at the $10,200, $10,300 range. So keep in mind what's going on there. Let's zoom in and look at the EMAs. For those of you that don't know, I use the 255, 21, 13, and 8 EMA. And this is the 4 hour. So we are trapped in between the 55 EMA, which is 9470 area, and the 200 EMA, which is 9350. A break and a close of a 4 hour below the 9350, most likely we're going to be heading down. 9500, if we get a close above that in the 4 hour, good chance we could be headed for our bull run. So keep that in mind. And let's look at the hourly. All right, so in the hourly, I'm looking at a falling wedge here. And let me show you the points. This is how I'm looking at it. If you use Elliott wave theory, which I'm not a fan of anymore, those of you that watch the channel know I used to use Elliott wave years ago. Not a fan of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what we could be looking at. And if that's the case, coming up to the 9621 area would be retesting the top of this falling wedge. And then we would come down for 5, and that could be, you know, that $86 range or $8,600 range, and then come up and break up. But we'll see what happens. As of now, these are just trend lines I'm watching. Look at the 4 hour RSI. We had a falling channel here, broke out, came back, tested it for support. Could this be a fake out? Let's zoom in and take a look at the RSI, see if we're getting any divergence here in the 4 hour. Although it's 23 minutes before the 4 hour closes. Let's take a look at it. And we are getting bearish divergence. We're getting lower lower highs in the RSI, and we are even. I'm sorry, lower highs on the price action, and we're even on the RSI. That is bearish. Depending on where we close, we got 23 minutes left. I'm sure it'll be done by the time this video gets out to you guys. But we are getting support on top of all the EMAs on the 1 hour as of right now. A break below that 94.20 area and a close of 1 hour, possibly going to continue down from there. Yesterday we had this. I had this target at 91.68, which is the 0.236. Didn't quite make it there. Still a possibility we head down there. But like I said, we've looked at this in the 1 hour, and I'm going to show you something else, and then we will move on to Ethereum. So the swing high to the swing low right here on the hourly, we came up and got rejected perfectly at the 0.618. That's why I believe it's a good possibility we topped out here. If not, the 0.786 is around 97.79. If we break above that, then we could be coming up to, you know, that higher bull trap. But keep an eye on this area. A break of this 96.20 gets it looking a little more like it's heading towards a bull trap. Definitely a break of this 97.89. So keep an eye on that. And yeah, 0.236 retracement down here. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry, I'm getting discombobulated a little bit, but this is Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high here. We came down and got a bounce off of the 0.5. This target also lines up with the 0.618 down here. I would expect a bounce there. See what happens, but if this does break, then we could be headed down to our lower lows. This is my wife's webpage. This is a great way to help support the channel, inkyourimage.com. There is a link below in the description. Definitely check it out. A lot of cool crypto stuff. She can put anything you want on any of this stuff. Doesn't have to be just what you see. All right, looking at Litecoin. If we come up and test the top of this or the bottom of this rising channel, it's around the 45.65. And let's see. We did get this bearish cross here. We're just kind of stuck up in the 21, 13, and 8 EMAs here. 55 EMA is around the 44.50. 200 EMA is around the 45. If we break that, we could come up to retest top of or the bottom of this channel. If we break above this and open and close a 4 hour above it, we could be heading up and somewhere in the $50 range, possibly all the way up to the top of this channel again. $54 range. Depending on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin does that bull trap, you may see the same thing here. Let's look at the RSI. RSI has broken out of this falling channel. Do we come down and it's fake out in the RSI and we come down, or do we come all the way up and retest the top of this falling channel? If we do, that would most likely be, you know, Bitcoin's bull trap. Measured move of the drop down out of this rising channel is $37 range. We also have the Fibonacci retracement of the golden pocket zone around the $34 to $35 range. Then we have the 0.786 at 30.52. And if Bitcoin does go down to that lower low that we were talking about, Litecoin could go back down to the $20 range, which would be a stop hunt, just like Bitcoin would be a stop hunt in my opinion, and continue up from there. All right, Ethereum. Ethereum looks like a rising wedge here. That fake out could get Ethereum up to $250 range. That is, let me show you this resistance line all the way from back here in 2019. Another test of that would be around the $250 range. And we come up and test the top of this wedge again, could be around the $268 range. But as of right now, in the 4 hour, we are getting resistance at the 55 EMA. That's around the 235 range. We're getting support right now around the 230 range, which is the 8, the 13, and the 21 EMA. And then we have the 200 EMA down here at 226. A retest of the bottom of this wedge would get us down in the range of $220 range. If that was to break, the measured move of the break of that falling wedge, guys, is 152, which also lines up with the golden pocket zone. Now, if that was to break, we had the 0.786 at 125. If Bitcoin makes new low, around the $57 range for Ethereum. Let's look at the RSI, and then we'll go into the Dow. So we are in this falling channel here. If we do break up out of this, that could be matchup. That's why I'm saying there's a lot of bullish and bearish mixed signs. In the RSI, we could have a jump up out of this, and that be along with Bitcoin's bull trap. Or do we come back down and retest the bottom of this channel before continuing up, being a pretty damn big drop? So, all right. Let's see, Dow minus 6.25 points. So it is down a little bit. As you guys know, my opinion, if we had higher or lower highs in the price action, and this is the daily, we had higher highs in the RSI that was hidden bearish divergence. I do believe we are continuing down more. That's not to say we can't pump up, retest the high, 28,000 points, somewhere in there, whatever. Regardless, my opinion, as you guys know, if you watch the channel here, we're going to witness the biggest money grab in history. This was nothing compared to what I believe is going to happen. The Fed keeps printing money. They got everybody bullish, thinking they're just going to keep printing money. I mean, that's what they want everybody to think. So they go ahead and put their 401ks back in, put their money back in. And when everybody gets confident in the market like that, that is when I believe the money grab is going to happen. And we are going to see some much lower lows in the Dow. You know, make up your own mind. Like I said, this is just my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. But if you look at this daily here, it does look like we are forming the daily RSI. We are forming a head and shoulders here. In my opinion, a break of that neckline will get very, very, very ugly. But again, guys, it's just my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. Kind of just showing what I'm seeing in the charts. We are getting supported on the EMAs right now. In the daily here, it's looking pretty weak though. It does look like they are ready to shift back down. Maybe even come see by the end of the week 2,400 or 24,000 point range. We'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, we could rise up. It's so hard to tell right now the way they, you know, keep printing and pumping, but I believe that's going to end soon when they're ready to take everything. If you think about it, the Fed's going to own everything. And after they do one more huge drop, everybody's going to be selling off all their stocks, all their everything, and they're just going to be buying it cheaper. Therefore, they will own everything. Wages will go down. It could get very ugly, guys. If they own everything, they got total control. People think they have it now. Wait till this happens, if I'm correct. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the CryptoSavy logo by my head if you haven't already. Tick that notification bell. Even if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. People have complained about getting unsubscribed when it wasn't them. But tick that notification bell and select all to make sure you get notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes and leave your comments down below, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Share the video if you would. Take it easy.